Welcome again to Simmer Down channel. We've got an exciting menu for today. So technically what we're gonna do today, we're gonna do like a Escovitch fish. So it's more like of a snack menu, you know, something that you can actually go on the beach and relax with your friends, your mates, and you know, you can have a nice little picnic. You know what I mean? This is kind of like a slight junk food, Jamaican junk food. But at the same time, you know, what I'm doing, I'm kind of doing like a twist to it basically, whereas I'm going to put my little twist on it, you know, because even though it's junk food, you know, it has some vital points of nutrients, which we always emphasize on healthy eating and the 5-a-day option. So here we have, I'm going to start off with, I'm going to do like a tropical smoothie. So this is papaya and some fresh ginger and some freshly squeezed orange juice. You can use orange juice from, you know, you can buy one from the supermarket if you want, and you can use that to make your smoothie. It's up to you, it's what your preference is. I kind of like to more lean to freshness. So this is the juice here that we've got here, and I'm gonna blend that basically into the blender and to make my smoothie. So now, what's gonna accompany my Escovitch fish? I'm doing some sides, some carbs that's gonna go on the side basically. So here we've got sweet potato wedge, and I'm using a different type of sweet potato. This is more like the African sweet potato. And then this is my jerk spice. So I'm doing a jerk sweet potato wedge, and that's cornflour. So it's gonna be cornflour, jerk spice. It's gonna mix together and it's gonna coat this potato, and then it's gonna go in the oven and roast in the oven. So it's like a technical spin on spicy wedges, but I'm doing a sweet potato wedge. Then I've got the infamous Bammies. So this one I soak it in, well, I'm using soya. You can soak it in milk, you can soak it in water, you can do whatever you want to do. You can use any form of milk, almond milk, whatever you choose to use. But I'm using soya to soak it, because what you want to do, you kind of want to give it some moisture before you fry it basically. You can also put this straight to the oven on a tray, grease-proof paper, right into the oven. But I'm going to do it the Jamaican version. So like I said today, it's a combination between healthy and unhealthy eating today. You know, every day you're gonna have to, you know, have that little guilty pleasure where you kind of treat yourself. And I kind of want to stay a bit authentic and not going away too much from it. So I'll do the fry version today. Then here I'm doing chunky plantain chips, but I'm gonna do a kimchi version. So I'm using kimchi spice. This has lemon and peppers and all those kind of stuff in it, and it's really, really, really tasty. So that's my kimchi mix, and that's my chunky plantain chips basically. So it's kind of a version of chunky chips that you would buy in the fish and chip shop. So that's my twist on it basically, which I'm using plantain. And here is my red snapper for my Escovitch fish. I'm also doing roast corn, but the way I'm gonna do this roast corn, I'm gonna technically boil it first because I haven't got like a wood fire to give it that roast, and then I'll show you my intake on it because I'm gonna blow torch it basically to give it that color. Okay? And then here I'm making festival. So the festival, the ingredients is cornmeal, a little flour to bind it, and then I'm using sugar, some sugar inside it basically. I'm gonna use soya again basically to mix, and also baking powder. Very, very simple. Let's start with the garnish for the Escovitch fish. Now here we've got vinegar, white wine vinegar, and here we've got orange juice. That's my little twist on it basically, because I kind of want to add that citrus flavor to it basically, a little sweetness as well to kind of tone down the vinegar at the same time. Now I've got some spring onion here, then I've got chocho, I've got carrot, I've got broccoli stalks, So you know the head of the broccoli, and then you've got that little wood bit, the stalk bit. So that's it. So I kind of julienne that or finely shred. And then here we've got the broccoli, and I'm using cauliflower as well. And then here we've got our Scotch bonnet pepper, thyme, and then I've got my bell peppers or sweet peppers. You can use whatever color you want to use, because I kind of like to emphasize on color. And here I've got onion. I use 2 types of onion because, like I said, I'm looking for color as well, because you know, you eat with your eyes, and you know, color is most important. So now I'm gonna prepare the wedges, because you want to get that into the oven first. Basically, you just add a little oil, just a little oil, because what you want to do is try to make that oil on it so you can help to bind it. Little salt, and bear in mind the jerk spice has enough spice already, so you just want to put that mix inside like that, basically. So simple. And then what you're gonna do, basically, you're gonna just combine it like that. Just like that. And then here I've got my baking sheet already. My oven is on a high heat already. And then to the oven. Now I'm gonna make the festival. So that soya milk, just add a little, and then what you're gonna do, you're gonna slowly combine. It's almost like the other version of the dumpling that I did, basically, but this one is that you use more cornmeal. So for this one, the cornmeal is actually the star of the day, basically. And what you want to do is basically just combine all this until it comes together. So notice it start to come together. So it's just simple baking powder, some sugar, little flour to bind, and cornmeal, which, like I said, is your star of your day. It's the star of the dish. And I use the soya milk, you know, and the milk helps to emulsify the dough, you know, to make it a bit lighter as well. So hence that's why I use the milk, which is soya. You can use any milk, you know, just make your dough lighter. And what you do also, one tip, I normally just leave this in the refrigerator for about an hour, so that the dough relaxes, so all the protein denatures and it just stay rested, and then it's nicely light and fluffy. Because what you don't want to do is have this heavy meal, you know what I mean? So next, I'm gonna do my chunky plantain chips. And if you notice what I do, basically just to prevent yourself from getting burned and this oil spill on you, basically just get a paper napkin and just dry the plantain, because I soak this in salted water, so you kind of get that nice flavor from the salt, and it infuses into the plantain, so it, you know, you don't have to put in the salt, and it's really, really nice. And then just kind of pat it like this, you know, just get it dried before you attempt to put it inside. And then slowly, you know, without burning yourself. And to be honest, like I said, you don't have to cook it in too much oil, you know, just to slowly immerse it inside and slowly cover. You know, you don't have to go that heavy on the deep frying, you know, and then let it just slowly cook. And what I tend to do, because I'm gonna use this for the fish, you know, say for example you've got someone that's a vegan and they're coming over, you know, I always try to do the veg stuff first before I put any meat inside, you know, so, you know, anything that's gonna be non-offensive to someone that's, you know, maybe a vegan or a vegetarian, you know what I mean? So I usually get the things like the starch first if I'm gonna use the same stuff to fry the other things in, like i.e. like the fish. So I normally do the fish last minute. And look at the sweet corn, it's coming on. So I'm gonna turn this off basically, and then what I'm gonna take it out, and then at the last minute I'm gonna blow torch it to give it that nice color. So I'm gonna let it, you know, same procedure as what I did with the plantain, and then we blow torch it, you know, so we get that nice roasted, charred color on it. So slowly cooking the plantain, and that's what it looks like, slowly. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to burn it either. You don't want to overcook it either. So, you know, now that's what the color should look like, basically. You know, once it's cooked inside, I just press one just to show you. And once your fork or anything can just slide through it like that, then you know it's definitely cooked. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take it out basically, and I kind of want to slightly keep it wet because I want that kimchi to kind of stuck on it, and then I'll show you what I do next. So here we go, and then the kimchi, some salt, and we just mix it like this. Or if you want, you can just use your hand to mix it like that, you know, and let that kimchi macerate it basically. Yeah, so that's what it should look like, and it's really, really tasty. And now look at my reduction, and my reduction is coming on, and that's gonna go into the garnish for the Escovitch. So that's coming on slowly. And now to the fish basically, and like I said, we do the same procedure. We make sure the fish is dry, simple salt and pepper, and that's where you kind of want it basically. And then once you get it seasoned like this, you know, and like I said, season is very important to me. You know, I like to make sure that my food is nicely seasoned. And I'm slowly dragging it in the oil. And I don't want this to be in too much oil, like I said, either, because I've got a specific way I kind of want it on the finishing. And I'm gonna let this get golden on one side and flip it on the other side. So it's roughly about 8 minutes on each side basically, because you want it really cooked through, you know. So this is the part I'm telling you about now with my blowtorch. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna char this. And this is another way you can improvise, you know. So if you haven't got like a stove, you know, with burners that you can actually char the sweet corn, you know, you can actually do it this way, you know, and it really works. So that's just the way, you know, you can do it as well, you know, you can improvise. Another way I'm gonna show you, you can do it as well. You know, if you got a stove like mine, like an electric stove like mine, you can always put it on there like that. You know, you can always put on the stove like that as well. So I'm just giving you ways you can do it as well. You know, so I'm just showing you ways, you know, you can improvise quickly. You know, as long as you clean as you go, you know, and you notice it will get color as well. So I'm just showing you, you know. There's lots of ways that you can do. You know, look at that. So you can actually roast your corn anywhere, you know. This is done evenly. And then I'm turning my fish now. And that's what I want. And that's my sweet corn is ready. See, and there you go. Look at that. Look at that. And that's your roasted sweet corn. So now my next step, I'm gonna do the Escovitch garnish. So what I've got here, I've got my white wine vinegar and I've got my orange juice. Now on here, I've got my stove on and get it real hot, because what I want to do, I kind of want to reduce that level of acidity inside that, so I'm letting it reduce down. And then I add my orange juice basically. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this reduce right down basically to half, and then here I'll let the pan get hot first. You know, you can see that steam coming out, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sweat my vegetables down, and which, like I normally said, when we normally start with the other vegetables. So this, what I'm doing, I'm sweating these down. Scotch bonnet pepper. This one going inside there as well, so you want to infuse that thyme inside there. And I'm going to put my pimento seed inside here, and I'll show you. Okay. The last thing I'm going to add to this is my broccoli and my cauliflower, because I kind of want to retain the colors as well. So there you go, let it slowly set. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to overcook it. You know, you kind of want to retain the vegetables as we normally said. You know, you try to retain the integrity of the vegetables. And lastly, my cauliflower. And you see that vibrant color. You know, this is what I'm talking about, you know. Now, that's the conclusion of the garnish, the Escovitch garnish. And look at the vibrant colors. You see that nice cauliflower, the spring onion, the broccoli, and all the other ingredients that's inside it, the carrot, you know, the chocho, and onion and all those kind of stuff. And here's my reduction that I'm gonna just pour over now. So I'm letting that reduction infuse. So all that reduction I'm letting infuse inside in that pickling. So I let it cool down a bit, you know, until it's lukewarm, because you still want it to penetrate that ingredient, you know what I mean, all those lovely vegetables, so it becomes pickled, and that's gonna go over that fish. You know, so that's my intake on it. You know, I kind of make mine a little bit different, you know, because what I said, you know, I keep emphasizing on the integrity of the vegetables, because you still want to retain those nutrients. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to overcook them. You know, you still want to have that bite, so you want that crunch. You know, it makes your meal a bit more exciting as well, you know, not to just eating dense stuff. Everything is just mush in your mouth. So, you know, and the color as well, because, you know, they say we eat with our eyes, you know, so that's one of the reasons that it's important that you look at the color as well, you know, and I try not to make it a bit too spicy. The spices you can adjust based on your preference, you know, with the Scotch bonnet that you use. I kind of tone mine a bit down because I can't handle the spice, you know, but like I said, that's very personal, you know, so if you're into spice, you can put as much Scotch bonnet as you want to put. You know, like I said, I just put mine that it's edible, and to a lot of people that, you know, hate spices, You know, so that's the finishing of the Escovitche garnish. Now, that's the conclusion of my beach vibes quarantine menu. Like I said, it's very simple. This is what, you know, you would want to eat when you go on the beach. You know, it's so simple. You know, and it's, even though it's more kind of inclined to your guilty pleasure, which is a bit more junk foods, we still try to promote like the 5 a day. You know, and so here we've got our festival, and then we've got this spicy, which is the jerk sweet potato wedge, and then we've got the kimchi, chunky chips, plantain chips, and I just use a kimchi marinade, you know, spice to go on top to macerate. That's really, really tasty. Then here we've got our Escovitche garnish. And you see that nice pickling, and the color still retain on the vegetables. Then here we've got our roasted corn, and then we've got our Bammy. Here we've got our papaya orange and ginger smoothie. And then here is our Escovitche fish, nicely garnished. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And you can also leave a comment. All the ingredients will be listed in the description. You know, and at simmer down, you know, that's what we, you know, we emphasize on, you know what I mean, we emphasize on, you know, the 5 a day healthy eating, you know.